Milí divadelní přátelé, my vás vítáme u dalšího vydání Antré, které pro vás připravuje volné sdružení východočeských divadelníků, a to hned pod záštitou dvou hejtmanů Pardubického kraje Martina Netolického a Královéhradeckého kraje Martina Červíčka. Dnes pro vás máme takové speciální vydání, protože je to historicky první okamžik, kdy v našem vysílání máme divadelníky, kteří nejsou z České republiky, ale dokonce z Izraele. A tak dovolte, abych tady přivítala dvě izraelské loutkářky. Hili, která je loutkářka a vypravěčka, a Rona, režisérka a také scénografka, které jsou momentálně na štaci tady u nás po východních Čechách. Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Jak se vlastně stalo, že jste přijeli k nám do České republiky? Kde jste se tady ocitli? Kdo vás pozval?
So in the time of the corona, I started talking with Jerry in the Facebook, and we get friends, and he invited me, and it's like a dream.
And I'm working with Hili. We create shows together, so I jumped on the ship.
Je to pro vás tady něco jako výlet, anebo to vnímáte spíše jako práci?
It's combined. It's a work thing. We have a lot of honor and belief in our show that we came with her, Tambelina. It's our professional, and we came with it. But it's also a trip. We work together, but also a very good friend, and we are visiting Czech Republic, and we are seeing, new things and meeting new people. So it's combined, business and pleasure together.
My jsme se před vysíláním bavili o tom, že amatérské divadlo v Izraeli zas tak úplně neexistuje, tak jako u nás, že by dospělí herci hráli pro dospělé publikum. Takže vy jste vlastně sem k nám přivezli pohádku, budete hrát dětem?
It's not exactly that it's not exist. Puppeteer is a professional in Israel mainly. People who create puppet theater and perform with puppet theater, mainly they're professional. There is amateur puppeteers that are doing, volunteer jobs in kindergartens and in hospital departments, but it's not so much common. It's not like a common hobby. People who practice puppeteering, it's mostly professionals, artist professionals, that this is their art.
Vy jste tady přivezli pohádku Tambelina. O čem je?
We change it, and it's like a journey that she's feeling that she's going back to her place, to her home, to her people, and not really people. It's kind of mixed with it's a person and a plant, something like this. And she's coming back to her place.
It's based on Tambelina, the Andersen fairy tale, the famous Andersen fairy tales. But we took it to a different point of view when our Tambelina, that it's something between a flower or a person, but she's really in a journey to find a place that it's her home, her domov. She's kind of a flower, so the nature is, yes, it's a big part in the show. Because she is a part of nature, and the moment she was taken off nature, then she started the journey to go back to her place of nature.
A pro jak staré publikum nebo staré děti to je? Jakou zkušenosti máte z Izraele s touhletou show?
We targeted like 4 years old and up. I think it's like what we call in Israel for the whole family. We have show that we say it's for the whole family. It's like 4 years old and up. It doesn't has an age limit up, but children smaller than 4 years old, I think it will be a little bit complicated for them. They're toddlers.
Když jsem se připravovala na tenhle pořad, tak jsem vlastně zjistila, že čeští loutkáři hodně jezdí do Izraele a že to funguje i naopak. Setkali byste se už vy s některými českými loutkovými inscenacemi?
We have in Israel 2 big international puppet festivals each year in the summer, one in Jerusalem and one in Holon, and puppeteers from all over the world are coming, and some Czech, but I didn't have a chance to have a workshop with Czech puppeteers. Only see maybe show that they came, but I didn't have a chance to meet them. And one of the reasons that it's so exciting to be here, because we met Jerry, and through him we met more puppeteers, and it's educational for us and warm-hearted us to see it's the love, and it's part of your history, puppeteer. In Israel, I love puppeteer, but it's not part of our history. We are developing this history through the years, and to meet puppeteers from Czech Republic and to see that it's part of your tradition, part of your history, part of your national pride. It's really, really exciting and moving.
A jaké tady je to vaše současné loutkářství?
We don't have tradition puppeteers, so all the shows have very, very different kind of puppets, of manipulating puppets. You can see shows with a large puppet that are set on the body. You can see shows with table puppet that are moving on the table. You can see shows of hand puppet, but you don't have one major kind of puppet that are performing in the shows. You can see it on stage, you can see it on education system mainly, most of the times, mainly for children, but also for adults in special theater. It's a very, very diverse art. Anything can be a puppet in Israel. I can make a show now with the glass of beer and the glass of bubble water and make them dance, and it will be a puppet theater in Israel. Anything that I can manipulate, called puppet theater. We don't have rules. We're like this kind of peoples. Without rules, everything goes.
Vy už jste tady několikrát zmiňovali, že vás do České republiky pozval Jerry, což je Jiří Polehňa, u nás velice známý loutkář, ale jste také v Hradci Králové, kde máme velice významné loutkové divadlo, divadlo Drak. Slíbil vám Jerry, že vás vezme do Draku?
Yes, sure. Sure, yes. Sure.
Shall I translate?
Yes. Yes, I think I remember that it's going to be on Wednesday.
Jak vy dvě jste se poznali a co bylo tím impulzem, že jste si řekl, že budete spolupracovat?
Okay, it was 10 years ago?
No, honey, it was like it was about 20 years ago, but she's living. It was 20 years ago in the puppeteer school. We met at the puppeteer school. We both, in Israel it's more common that people will come to the puppeteer school later in their career road. And we met at the puppeteer school, and beside that we got connected on a personal level because she's a very, very nice person. Hili is more in the design. She built the puppet, she built the scenery, she has the more visual point of view, and I have I'm a storyteller. I love the stories. I like to tell a story, to invent a story, I'm a director. So it was like meant to be, because I can tell stories and direct, and she built what I want her. and she gave in her visual point of view that I'm less of it.
Jaká témata jsou vám blízká?
Fairy tales?
You like fairy tales?
Fairy tales. I like very, very nature. In the several months I'm doing like trips in the nature to connect kids and their family to the story of the real life of
with
the nature.
Puppets.
With puppets, yes.
And I like stories. I like a good story. It can be from anywhere, from everywhere, for all ages. I really like a good story with a hero and a journey that you have to go. And this is my favorite things.
Máte nějaký nejoblíbenější příběh, který opravdu rádi vyprávíte, který je základním kamenem?
I like myth story. I like the Greek myth and the Irish myth. I like to tell myth stories because they're kind of a story that I can manipulate them the way that I want and like create from them something else. I love myth stories.
I like stories that the main character is kind of a weak or small, like Thumbelina. I feel like it's a bit of me.
Pojďme teďka od toho příběhu k těm loutkám. Máte raději klasické loutky, maňásky, nebo třeba právě ty objekty, jako sklenice, piva a vína?
My favorite is what we call in Israel, I don't know how it's called in Czech, it's a table puppet, the one that Thumbelina is like. You can see it on the show because you all are going to come. It's a puppet that you have a stick in her head and a stick in her lower body, and a hand, and she can, manipulate it like this. Not the hands puppet. The puppet that it's. You don't put your hand in it, you manipulate it from outside. You hold her head and you hold her hand or your body and she moves. This is what my favorite kind of puppet to play with, but I love them all.
And mine is to the table, but I'm making a street puppet and with big giant puppets. Mm-hmm. And
věnujete se i pouličnímu divadlu?
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes, I like it.
I directed some shows for the street show, but I don't like to perform on the street.
Do you like it?
Yes, really.
Why?
Because it's not just for kids. It's touching all of the people, and it's old people and young, and it's like all I can manipulate all of them. It's really...
Já jsem slyšela, že dopoledne dnes jste se byli podívat v loutkovém divadle v Jaroměři. Viděli jste tam něco zajímavého?
Yes. First time it was my first time inside a traditional puppet theater with the stage, when you marionette, when you can see the different lines where the puppeteers stand and the show. It was very interesting, and also you can smell and hear the history of the place from the from the walls, from the chairs. You can feel the amount of people that came there and laughed and clapped their hand, and it's really touching. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It's amazing.
And in Israel, marionettes are not popular. They are not common, and I think if there will be a marionette, they are not from wood, so it's very
different.
Yeah, maybe unique. Yes.
Opravdu
nejsou v Izraeli loutky populární?
No, the puppets
marionettes, no.
Marionettes. String puppet we have, but it's not so popular, it's not so common. Like in a puppeteer school, you don't really have classes of marionettes. It's something that, artists abroad are coming in the festivals and give workshops, and you come and you, oh, wow, it's so difficult, I don't want to do it. It's like, but it's not common for there is some puppeteers that work with marionette, but it's less common, the string puppet, and we both didn't.
We didn't study.
We didn't study it, and we didn't manipulate it.
Yes.
It's like, it's different. The puppet that I work with, I'm touching them. It's like they are part of me. We have a close relationship. My puppet shows, and you will see it on Thumbelina, the puppeteer is a part of a show, and his relationship with the puppet is a part of the story of the show. And on marionette, it's like, it's a big space, the distance between the puppeteer and the marionette. It's like a different point of view. So I didn't have practice with it.
Když už mluvíme o tom studiu, Jaké školy jste tedy vystudovali?
We both went to a puppet school in Holon. It's in Israel. There are it's like 4 centers of puppeteer. 3 of them are schools, and we went to the Israeli Puppet Center in Holon. There is also a school there.
Když se člověk rozhodne, že bude studovat uměleckou školu, tak ho většinou k tomu žene nějaký silný impuls, takže co vás k tomu vedlo, co bylo vlastně tím důvodem, proč jste se rozhodli, že se tomu budete věnovat profesně, co vás přivedlo k loutkování divadla?
I have a different career before. I'm a bibliotherapist. It's kind of art therapy. It's art therapy through stories. I had an MA, a BA, an MA, and then I had my firstborn son, and I decided that I need a break from from therapy. I just don't want to practice therapy anymore. So I started to teach psychology in some college, and I thought, I want to go back to school. And I opened a newspaper and I say publicity of the puppet school in Holon, and I said, okay, I will go there, and after time I will use it in my practice as a therapist. And then I went, and after the first class I said, wow, I know what I want to do when I be big and grown up, and it's not therapist, it's puppeteering, and this changed my life. I think my mother said that I did it because now I have, rationalized reason to keep playing with dolls and not to. But it was like maybe by chance, maybe by not, but this was my way.
So I was a really shy girl, and I want to be an illustrator for books and for kids. And sometime I got for a school in Jerusalem. It's called the Visual Art of School, and I fell in love, and I said, it's my place.
Zkoušeli jste někdy hrát činohru?
Yes.
Yes. No, I do also performance. That I'm a storyteller. I don't have puppets, it's just me on the stage or me with musicians, and I tell stories with my hands and my body and my voice. But I don't call myself an actress, I call myself a storyteller. And this is my passion. Or I tell stories with puppet or without puppet.
A vaše zkušenosti s činohrou?
It's more when I was in school, and we make a lot of different things, not just in puppets, and it's very strange things, visual and for adult, and in the street, in an ensemble.
Jsou loutky vaše volba, protože se schováváte za loutky, anebo se vám líbí, že oživujete loutky a objekty a vyprávíte příběh skrz ně?
I like the manipulation to life. I like the magic. I like the moment when you see the crowd, and it doesn't matter if it's children or adults, the moment that their eyes are like, and then you know that the magic happens, and they don't look at me, and the puppet came to life, and this is what I like.
Mluvili jsme tady vlastně o škole a mě by zajímalo, jestli ten systém je třeba podobný jako u nás. U nás děti chodí do základní umělecké školy, když ještě chodí do základní školu, potom jsou střední umělecké školy, vysoké umělecké školy, tak jak je to u vás v Izraeli?
I think that only in high school there is some junior schools for art, but there's very rare. Maybe one in Tel Aviv, but in high school, when they get age of 15 and choose their high school, they can come to an art high school. But mainly it's the universities.
Mm-hmm.
there's regular art classes in the school, but I wish there were more, but unfortunately not.
A nepřijde vám škoda, že vlastně děti nemají možnost se vzdělávat na tom elementárním prvním stupni, že to nejde postupně, že se k tomu vlastně dostávají až v pozdějším věku?
Yes, but the after school education is very, very popular in Israel. The after school activities, and I think that a lot of children in the young ages go to art classes at the after school activities. This is very, very common. Very, very common thing in Israel to go to activities after school. Maybe gymnastic and maybe art and maybe music and maybe all kind of things. And art is very common. Yes, if I was, the Minister of Education in Israel, I would put a lot more art classes, because it's ended something around the 4th grade or the 5th grade in some school, and then they stopped only if you choose it in high school. So if it was my decision, it was go all the way. But I know that me and most of the parents that are around me take our children to art lessons in the after-school activities.
Škoda, že nejste ministr školství.
It's a problem, because if I was the Minister of Education, I didn't have time to do puppet theater, so I don't know.
Pojďme se ještě vrátit k tomu, jak vy dvě fungujete spolu na jevišti. Jak vypadá ten váš proces? Najdete příběh, najdete nějaké téma a jak začínáte potom budovat vaši inscenaci?
Make a storyboard.
Yes, we make a storyboard. I think it's the beginning. We have a very good communication between us, and our relationship based on the believing that I know that I can fly with her. I can tell her, I want, and she will go with me, and she can tell me, and I want it to be open, and I will go with her. So we started with big, dramatic dreams, and we painted a storyboard of the show, and then we go from there. At one point in the beginning, we're an ensemble, we work together. And so at the beginning, it's all about joining mind and thinking about things and having an idea. And in one point, when the show is getting her basic body, then we started to put it together. So I have the outer point of view, and she is getting into the work on the character and the relationship with the puppet, and I'm looking for mother and telling her, put your hands up! Put your hands up!
Mám tady dotaz od kolegy. Ptá se jako muž. Protože jste z Izraele, platí, že inter arma silent muse. Jaká je kulturní scéna Izraele? A byli jste na vojně?
You have here two questions. We both did our army service, like every young adult in Israel. I been in the armor, the tanks, the soldiers in the tanks. I taught him how to shoot.
Oh,
yes, this is what I did. I love it. And Hili, what did you do?
הייתי רכזת כוח אדם, לא יודעת איך אומרים את זה בכלל.
She was in the office of personnel. She was in a personnel. How do you say it? In the office that is responsible about the personnel informations, who is go where and what to do. And this is what we did. And I think that the question is very, very interesting, because it's true that in war, the muse are silence. But unfortunately, in our country, it's like a long-going war situation. And we don't know, we don't used to it, but we keep having our art and our music keeping because are part of us all through these times. And I think that mainly on extreme situation and war situations, the muse are more loud. And the muse are more loud not only for the personal and also for the political. You have more political theater, more political music, more political. It's getting into the art because it's like ongoing war all the time. Maybe the peace will shut us up now. It won't, but it will come. But it's creating other kind of art.
To znamená, že máte pocit, že se nebudete mít vůči čemu vymezovat potom, až bude mír?
No. I'm sure because we are human beings and we are human beings, so we all the time will have something to struggle in with. I believe I want peace, I want the quiet, I want the safety, I want my children to grow up in a safe place. I want my grandchildren to grow up in a safe place. And I believe the art. I'm believing that the art is there. Also, there is war, and also there's difficulties and political difficulties. It's not damaging the need of art and the need of artists to create their art. And I believe that this need will be there always, also in peace. And may peace will come upon all of us very soon.
Ve vaší zemi je velký střet náboženství, kultury, všechno se tam potkává a mísí a má na sebe vliv. Myslíte si, že to ovlivňuje i umění a kulturu a právě způsob, jakým pracujete?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. As Israeli, before we get into the point of view of the conflicts, as Israeli, we are like a mix of everything. We mix of immigrants. Immigrants came from all over the world. My grandparents, her grandparents, his grandparents came from all over the world. So we are a mix of our music, our food, our culture, our art, the way we dress. It's like a mixture of something. So we don't have, this is why we're so excited in the theater that we saw today. We don't have, we're only 75 years old, so we don't have, the history of the classic that we are built on it. We are inventing our own a tradition now, and the tradition is very, very mixed, and it's very, very bold because you don't have to answer to an ancient histories or classic or norms. You don't have to answer to it, so you can dare. We are a daring people. We dare in our food. We dare in our point of view. We dare in the way we walk and talk, and we dare in our art. I don't have rules. I can do anything, and it's influenced of the art in Israel. I think it's very, very bold, and it's very, very interesting. And the conflicts of a lot of point of view, and the conflict between the Israel and the Palestine, and the conflict between religious people and non-religious people, and then conflict between people that their grandparents came from the West and people that their grandparents came from the East. It's all kind of groups that are conflicts, and it's getting into the art, but in an interesting way.
It's creativity.
It's creativity. Yes.
And for you?
Yes. Yes, it's very creativity. I think it's like freedom.
Yes, and mainly I think in puppet, because puppet can say anything, is things that a human actor can't say on the stage because it's not appropriate to say these kind of things. Puppet can say that. Puppet can do it. So it's like a free kind of art.
Já si myslím, že svým způsobem žijete v báječném světě, který my třeba nedokážeme úplně tak docenit. A já bych vám přála, abyste měli v tom umění co nejvíce svobody a inspirace. A děkuji, že jste přišli sem k nám do Antré.
Thank you very much for having us.
A mám poslední otázku.
And I have a last question.
Yes.
Jak vám chutná české pivo?
I love the Czech. I told you that this is the reason that I came. No, puppet theater. I came for the beer.
Moc děkujeme. Já doufám, diváci, že jste si dnešní Antré užili. A jestli jste si ho užili, tak nezapomeňte nám dát odběr, like a zvoneček a tvárnice unikne. A těšíme se na vás zase příště. Mějte se krásně, sledujte Antré.